VIP interview today is with Christian Toksvig, who is the Vice President of Business Development at Getty Images. And he's here in Singapore at the Digital Matters Conference. Christian, welcome to Singapore. Christian, I gather you had a career in publishing before you joined Getty Images. Can you just tell us a little bit about your earlier life?
My whole career I've been working in publishing. I started in print. Actually, I started working for a weekly magazine similar to The Economist back in Denmark, where I come from. And then I've worked in newspapers, both paid and also free. I worked for a long time for the Metro International, which is the free commuter newspapers. And then I've also done women's magazines. I was the publisher of OK Magazine for 6 years. Brought that to a number of markets in Asia and around the world. And of course, all of those publishing activities followed the same migration from print to web that we're seeing in every single publishing market. And then in the last year, I've joined Getty Images, which is now supplying the publishing industry, of course.
Apart from the advertising industry, I know Getty Images works with the publishing industry as well. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so publishers use us as a photo agency, as a photo supplier. We are a full-fledged editorial photo agency, just like the AP and Reuters and those guys. And so our business is basically to supply editorial photography and editorial video to our publishing customers. And they obviously do this because it's more efficient for them to have us run around the world and take the pictures instead of have their own staff photographers. It's a pretty prevalent trend that they're all cutting down on their fixed costs and their staff photographers, and people like us are filling that gap.
There are a lot of changes going on in the publishing industry. What do you think about the future of print?
Well, I think print has a role. It's here to stay. And all publishers who are worth their salt recognize that it's just one platform among at least 3 or 4 others. And that most publishers, readers, or users, or clients will want to access on one or more of those platforms. So it used to be, a few years ago, there was a lot of talk in the print industry. I remember I was there about, the print industry is dying, it's dead and stuff. It isn't, it isn't dead, and it's not going to die. But print only is dead and won't be coming back to life anytime soon.
Would you like to comment on the current trend of people to publish themselves, to be journalists?
Yeah, so it's interesting that while the publishing industry has been challenged, journalism itself is thriving more than ever, because everyone can be a journalist and everybody can publish themselves now. So I think from a pure sort of point of view of freedom of expression and democracy, I think that's a great thing. And we've also seen how it can topple regimes and make amazing change around the world when people suddenly get a strong voice that they can communicate online. So I think that is a very big positive sign. So a lot of people complain that blogs are, silly rants, and the quality of blogs can be very varying. I think the wheat to chaff ratio is probably about the same as it's always been in any kind of human communication. Now it's just written down there and it's archived forever for us to look at it. But I'd say, if I look at my own news sources, some of the ones I trust and like the most are actually written by individuals, not by companies.
Is the issue of copyright becoming a difficulty for Getty Images now?
It is a big problem for us, just like other types of other providers of content, this issue. And whereas people, when they are illegally downloading movies and music, I think most people know that they're going against copyright law. A lot of people genuinely do not know that photography is also subject to the same copyrights. So a lot of people are innocently doing it, but it doesn't make it less damaging, obviously. And it's something that we're trying to do both with sticks and carrots, basically. Of course, finding people who are illegally using our content and trying to make them understand what's going on. At the same time, educating the public and a lot of businesses too about how this actually works. So it is a big issue and something that we're not going to fix overnight.
How can publishers use technology to improve the way they work and to push up revenues?
It's a huge question, Alan. Generally, what I advise publishers is to be multi-platform, meaning to go onto all the different platforms and to publish all the time. Whereas the old publishing model, you would publish once a day for your morning edition. Now you have to publish stuff as it happens. So basically my 5-word advice to publishers is publish more stuff more frequently. And then publishers say, well, yeah, but we our margins are under pressure. We don't have the same amount of staff as we did before. That's where technology comes in. Technology in publishing, for example, one of the things that we are helping them with is dynamic and automatic delivery of content through content APIs, so that content delivers itself and refreshes itself and updates itself on websites. And so this is one way that we're helping, but the publishers themselves also need to aggregate from other sources. They need to help their readers come to the site and stay on the site by giving them more choice on the site. So that's publishing technology. Then there's advertising technology, because publishers have to monetize somehow. And those are some controversial issues right now around privacy, how much targeting should you be doing down to the individual. But the advertising technology is crucial for publishers to make the advertising on online sites more relevant to their users. And one of the ways to do that is to target it better.
Christian, thank you so much for spending the time with AdAsia.